All right, Shalom. First and foremost, say Call Allah Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai Ba'ashim Rakah Kudash. And double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and rule well. All right, and Shalom to the hopeful elect. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai Ba'ashim Rakah Kudash Barakatam. It's the brother Kazak coming back at it again with another, week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of Esau's kingdom. All right, and bid the election into the marriage. All right. Now the title of this camp is going to be "He that dwelleth in the shadow of the Lord." You know, roughly quoting, the book of Psalms, chapter 91. All right, because when all hell breaks loose, man, all right, there's going to be a people that's going to be protected. You know, the Lord is not going to, just completely flat out destroy the children of Israel, man. All right, there's going to be Hebrew Israelites, that's going to be saved. So-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, there is a remnant. Okay, and for that we're going to go to the book of Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 9. All right, let me see. We can just drop this for now. All right, let me see. Book of Isaiah chapter 1. All right. Just bear with me, y'all. These pages be extremely thin, man. There it is. All right. So, book of Isaiah chapter 1, verse 9. All right, and it reads, "Except Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, the power of hosts, all right, hath left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah." All right, because basically, man, you know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for the elect, we would be completely destroyed, man. All right, we'd be as Sodom and Gomorrah because nobody would be saved out of the nation of Israel. Okay, but Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai is going to redeem and deliver the nation of Israel. He's going to restore the nation of Israel as it is written in the book of Isaiah chapter 14. All right, which I was doing a lesson on that yesterday, man. All right, and it reads, the book of Isaiah chapter 14 verse 1, it reads, "For Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the stranger shall be joined unto them, and they shall cleave unto the house of Jacob, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors." All right, so this basically, illustrates what basically is about to happen. All right, as far as the power dynamics in the world, man. All right, because you got all these nations that want next. You got all these nations that want the next. They want to be the next, world power. They want to be the top nation. All right, but that position is reserved for the children of Israel, man, and it's reserved up to you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, starting with the elect. Okay, and really, who controls that is Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, man. All right, continuing on. And these other nations too. All right, I'm gonna read verse 2 again. Okay, and the reason the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai for servants and handmaids. All right, so you see these nations are going into slavery, man. Okay, they going into slavery, they going into captivity because we were captives under them. All right, we were sent as gifts unto them. If you go into the book of Revelations chapter 11, what are those gifts that the nations sent one toward another? It was black, Latino, and Native American slaves, man. All right, yeah, everybody knows about the transatlantic slave trade, but I bet nobody knows about the Acapulco slave trade, where they took Aztecs and sent them all the way to the Philippines for slave labor, man. That goes to show that we all been, oppressed. We all been under the curses. All right, and everybody that had a hand in that, all these nations that had a hand in that, is going to go into captivity. Okay, so continuing on, and it reads, "And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors." All right, so as it says, they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. All right, but this is further, summarizing the fact that Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai isn't going to completely do away with Israel, man. All right, and you got a couple other precepts that say that. We're gonna hit one more. Okay, so let's see the book of Leviticus, right? It's like the second to last chapter. Just bear with me. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. All right, there it is. So yeah, Leviticus, second to last chapter. All right, and let me see. All right, so we're just gonna get straight to the point. So Leviticus chapter 26, verse 44. And it reads, and yet for all that, which talks about how, how we went off as a nation, kind of like going into, Deuteronomy chapter 28. You know what I'm saying? Like in a sense, this is this chapter, Leviticus chapter 26. There's a portion of it that kind of resembles, Deuteronomy 28. It kind of summarizes it, kind of simplifies it. So when it says, and yet for all that, that's going into how we turn our back on Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. That's going into how we didn't keep the law, statutes, and commandments. And now, you know what I'm saying? Here we are yet this day in our captivity. Our people are completely destroyed, man. Hey, we didn't come into the world, we didn't come into the world, knowing this truth, man. We were lost and we were going off into idolatry. But Yahweh Hashem Yahushua still has mercy on us. The fact that brothers are coming back into remembrance is a testament of his mercy. Okay? So it reads, and yet for all that, meaning when after all that wickedness that we were doing as a nation, right? It says, when they shall be in the land of their enemies as a punishment, going into, the curses of Deuteronomy 28, just really prophecies, man. They are prophecies against us. Okay? It says, I will not cast them away, neither will I abhor them to destroy them utterly. All right? So as you can see, the Lord is not going to completely destroy the nation of Israel, man. And that's something that Esau, gotta get through his head, but he's not going to, man. Because he's programmed to be the wicked. He's hell bent on trying to get the blessing and the inheritance back. You know what I'm saying? That his pride has deceived him. He's so hell bent on that, on trying to take over the world and be the top nation. By his carnal means. And he's so gassed up in his pride that it basically deceived him, man. That's why he's gonna fight against Hamashiach Yahushua. That's why he's enabling these agendas, which he took so long to enable, man. We waiting for years, man. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it's finally ready. You know what I mean? You got the his new device, the CHIP. They about to usher that in. They about to implement that, into society. So the hour of temptation is coming soon, man. You know what I mean? So continuing on, and it's like, and then with this hour of temptation, it's gonna bring about what's about Jacob's trouble, man. All right, it goes hand in hand with Jacob's trouble, because the reason why they call it the hour of temptation is because if you want, to get relief, you know what I'm saying? If you want the tribulation to stop, and Yahweh Hashem Yahushua isn't dealing with you, you know what I mean? You're gonna go submit to this devil, man. You're going to submit to him, all right? And you're going to be destroyed. But guess what? The elect, they're not going to be destroyed, man. The elect are going to be kept, all right? Yeah, the scriptures talk about that. Even though, you're going to have 2/3 of our people, die and, through their various calamities and plagues and whatnot, the elect is going to be maintained, all right? And that's what we're going to be going into, because that's also part of prophecy, man. You know what I mean? So, because ultimately, man, yeah, we push, death and destruction. You know what I'm saying? We push the downfall of Esau's kingdom, the destruction of this kingdom, this wicked ass kingdom. All right. But guess what, man? In the midst of that destruction, there's a remnant that's going to be saved out of it. Okay. The remnant out of the children of Israel that's going to be saved out of it. All right. And that's the elect. And Yahweh Hashem Yahushua has care for his elect, man. That not any of them should perish. So let's go into it. Continuing on, and it reads, all right, verse 44. I'm gonna read it from the top. And yet for all that, speaking about the wickedness that we committed, when they be in the land of their enemies as a punishment, in the curses of Deuteronomy 28, right? It says, I will not cast them away, neither will I abhor them. to destroy them utterly and to break my covenant with them. For I am Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, their power. And that's also another thing too. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai made a promise to us, made a covenant with our forefathers, that we would inherit the land, and the Lord, is going to make good on His promise, man. All right, and that's what a lot of scriptures, they go into, man. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai making good on His promise and getting us up out of here, man. All right, yeah, we were in the land for a period of time, and then we started going off. Okay, and now here we are, the way it transpired. Now here we are in the ends of the earth. You know what I'm saying? So, like for my stammering lips. Now here we are in the ends of the earth. In the north, in the land of the north. Our people scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Guess what? Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is going to bring about that restoration, man. Okay. So continuing on, and it reads, all right, verse 45. But I will, for their sakes, remember the covenant of their ancestors, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt in the sight of the heathen, that I might be their power. I am Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay, so that's Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. He's not slack concerning His promise. And His promise was that we were gonna live in that land forever and ever, man. That we gonna be the top nation. And we're gonna be above all these heathens. These heathens gonna serve us, and after that 1,000 years of slavery is over with, they're still gonna be subject unto us. They're gonna be tributary states. Yeah, they're gonna live in their own lands. They're gonna be allowed to, rule, in their positions. That is, But at the end of the day, they're still gonna be tributary unto us, man. All right, but this is going to show that that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is not gonna do away with Israel, man. All right, so in these judgments that we're in, that the Lord is bringing, all right, the remnant is going to be taken care of. All right, and that's something that's written of. You can find that all throughout the scriptures, man. Okay, and that's where we go to the book of Daniel chapter 12. All right, let me see. So that's where we go to Daniel chapter 12. All right, starting from the top. Now you got several scriptures. My favorite one is this one, man. All right. So it reads, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble. All right. So that's talking about Jacob's trouble, man. That time of trouble. All right. Such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. All right. And at that time thy people shall be delivered. Okay. So it's going to be so bad out here. None of the tribulations, none of the hard times on earth, that happened so far in history is going to be as bad as how it's going to crack off now. Okay. But what does it say? It says that even to that same time, and at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. All right. So who are they that are written in the book, man? That's talking about the elect. Okay. And it says, they're going to be delivered, man. So guess what? The elect is going to be saved out of Jacob's trouble, man. Okay? And that's what this thing is going into, just to put out that balance that while people is out here, falling under the plague, they catching hell, they're being destroyed. Guess what, man? The elect is going to be saved. The elect is going to be maintained. All right? As the scripture says, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. All right? My servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. My servants shall rejoice, but ye shall mourn. Roughly paraphrasing, man. That's how it's gonna be. And that's righteous, man. That's rightfully so, because the servants of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai make their bodies a living sacrifice, and this is a labor, man. All right, this is a service. This is a labor, and guess what? With this labor comes a reward, as it is written in the book of. Hold on, let me make sure this page ain't dead. All right, hold on. Let's see. All right, but with this labor comes a reward. All right, as it is written in the book of, let me see, first or second, I think it's 1 Corinthians. Yep. All right, so the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 57. And it reads, but thanks be to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, which giveth us the victory through our Lord Hamashiach Yahushai. All right, through the world, that's who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, man. Okay, because Jesus Christ is not the real name of the Messiah, man. All right, that is a English, Greek transliteration. Jesus comes from the word Jesus. And before the 13, before a certain time period, I believe it was the 1300s. If I remember correctly. All right, there were no letter J's in the alphabet, and it damn sure wasn't no letter J's in the Hebrew, man. Okay, so you got people that call on Jah, and what I'm saying, and Joshua, certain names like that. Those ain't the real names, man. All right, and it's very important, that knowing the names of Yahweh Shimi Yahushai is essential, man. All right, it is essential in this truth, man, because you don't want to be calling upon, another name in Jacob's trouble, because Yahweh Shimi Yahushai is not going to hear you. Okay, so going back into it. All right, where it reads, verse 58, therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, and always abounding in the work of Yahweh Shemi Yahushai. For as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in Yahweh Shemi Yahushai. Right, because we out here, we making our body a living sacrifice, that Yahweh Shemi Yahushai may have mercy on us, man. And those that aren't doing so, they shun away the word of the Lord. Guess what? They're going to be destroyed. All right, this is the times that we're in, man. Yahweh Shem Yahushai is opening a can of whoop ass on the world, man. That's what's going on. All right, and that brings me to the next precept, the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12. All right, just give me a second to find it. There it is, right there. All right, there's the chapter. No, it's right there. All right, so the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and 1, and it reads, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not. Okay, and that's what we did through the spirit, man. Lord willing, we're of that number. And it's not to toot our own horns, you know what I'm saying, but it's just to to call out what it is, man. Call spade a spade. There are brothers out here, there are men of the nation that heard the word of Yahweh Shemi Yahushai. They heard that song and they decided to sing too, man. They decided to put their hand to the plow out of fear of Yahweh Shemi Yahushai. And that's where it starts. All right, and that's in the book of Proverbs chapter 1. We'll be back. We'll come back to Ecclesiastes 11. All right, Proverbs chapter 1. Okay, let me see. Let's hold this on deck. Let's see. See, I went too far. There we go. All right, what does it say on Proverbs chapter 1? All right, it says in the book of Proverbs chapter 1, verse 7. It says, the fear of Yahweh Shemi Yahushai is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. All right, and that's the 2/3 of our people, man. They're as fools because they despise the wisdom and instruction, man. They shun it off. You know what I'm saying? You could be teaching, you could tell, you could literally draw it out for the 2/3, and they're not going to hear. They're going to shun it off, and ultimately they don't fear Yahweh Shemi Yahushai. They'll make light of it. You know what I'm saying? They'll make it into a joke. And this thing is deadly serious, man. We're talking about millions and millions of lives being destroyed in the near future. You don't want to be of that number that gets destroyed, man. You don't want to be numbered unto the sword, as the scripture says, man. But that's the 2/3, because ultimately it wasn't given unto them to receive this thing in the first place, man. All right, as it is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 6 and 9. Let's grab that. Well, actually, let's grab that. All right, so book of Isaiah. This is Isaiah 14. Hold on. So let me see. All right, so book of Isaiah chapter 6, verse 9, and it reads, and he said, go tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not, and make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, unless they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert and be healed. All right. So as you can see, man, there's a cloak, that's put upon these people. It's like a veil, a spiritual hedge that's put upon, a portion, a big portion of our people, that's keeping them from receiving this truth, because ultimately Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai don't want them. And you could understand why, man. Here it is. You know what I'm saying? We you look at Israel's track record, how they backslid, especially when you go into the wilderness, man. How we just left, Egypt. We just got delivered out of Egypt. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, took us out of the land of Egypt. After all those miracles we witnessed, after seeing, the chariots and the seas part in half, you know what I'm saying? Israel want to go and build a golden calf while Moses was up there talking to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. You know, and that goes to show, why this go around Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai ain't dealing with the whole nation. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, man, he delivered the whole nation, in the past. All right, he delivered the whole nation in Egypt, man. And guess what? They backslid, and they brought upon themselves a lot of judgment. You know what I'm saying? So hey, nothing is new under the sun. Hey, those same Jakes that didn't make it back then, the same ones now that aren't gonna make it now. All right, because they too caught up in their idols. They're too caught up in the way of Egypt. Jake was calling Egypt the land of milk and honey, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how bad it was, man. Here it is. We are serving, bitter slavery, man, bitter captivity. You know what I'm saying? And here it is. Jake is calling it. We were in double straits, as Egypt is called, man, Mizraim. And here it is. Jacob is calling it what's it called? How do I put it to you? Jacob is calling it the land of milk and honeys. You know what I'm saying? That's just how conformed Jacob gets to the land of their oppressors, man. But here we are telling Jake that, you don't have to be conformed to another man. We got our own thing. You know what I'm saying? That's all we've been doing. Hey, we got our own thing in the land of Israel, man. We just gotta wait on it that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai deliver us. But Jake ain't got no patience, man. You know what I'm saying? Jake wanna live on the here and now. Jake don't wanna make his life a living sacrifice. Jake don't wanna make his life his body a living sacrifice. Because they too caught up in the affairs of the world. So naturally they're not gonna make it, man. But guess what? They're gonna come back, through our loins. Little willing we're of the elect. They'll come back through our loins, in the kingdom. So we're gonna continue on. Let me see. Okay, we finished that up. All right. So going back to, continuing on with the book of Isaiah, chapter 6, right, verse 11, and it reads, "Then said I, how long? And he answered, until the cities be wasted without inhabitants, and the houses without man, and the land be utterly desolate." Right, and that's what took place, man. And that's what has taken place. Till this day, basically, our people is gonna be blocked from receiving. The 2/3 of our people is gonna be blocked from receiving this truth. Okay, so going back to Ecclesiastes chapter 12. All right, I'm gonna start from the top, and it reads, "Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth," which is something that the 2/3 did. This is something that only the elect can do, because the election have obtained it. All right, but as it says, the rest were blinded. Okay, so with the elect obtaining the knowledge, because they were open to it and coming into this thing and doing their part, you know what I'm saying? Guess what, man? They're gonna be preserved in the time of Jacob's trouble, and the scriptures talk about that, man. All right. So continuing on, and it reads, "Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not," because the days are full of evil, man. We're talking about cannibalism, man. We're talking about killings. We're talking about plagues, pestilences. You know what I'm saying? Calamities, martial law. Yes, this devil is gonna come out with martial law, man. When all hell breaks loose, when it gets really bad, he's going to declare martial law. All right, we're talking about wars, nation against nation. This thing is deadly serious, man. We're talking about the state of the world. But Jake, you know what I'm saying? They don't wanna accept this, as the truth, man. They think they're too good for this. Well, guess what? This thing is too good for you. You know what I'm saying? That's the truth. All right. So let me see. So going back into this. All right. Continue on with the verse, and it reads, "While the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, and when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them." All right. Basically, don't wait until you old and you already, you know what I'm saying, established yourself, and lived your life. You know what I'm saying, to come into this truth. Because it's one of the things. Now you do have some exceptions. You got some men that, you know what I'm saying, that are up in age, that's in the truth, man. But that's because, how do I put it to you? It's mercy on that. You know what I'm saying? The Lord adds a balance on that. But for the most part, you don't want to be the guy that heard the truth and you were drawn to it, but you're gonna waste some 20 years to finally put your hand to the plow, man. You don't want to be that guy, man. All right, if you're able-bodied, you got to put your hand to the plow, work out your own salvation. Be a help, man. You know what I'm saying? Be a help unto the world, man. Hey, Issachar showing love, man. Issachar part of the 12 tribes, man. So-called Mexicans, they part of the 12 tribes, man. You know, you got bozos out there that want to say that the so-called Latinos and Native Americans aren't of Israel, man. They completely through, man. All right, and they're gonna lead you to your destruction and keep on cleaving onto that, because that's basically the house of Rehoboam, man. That's the anti-Northern tribe type Jakes. You got those, man. You got anti-Northern tribe Jakes, and you got anti-Southern Kingdom, Jakes that's of the Northern tribe, man. It's a two-way street, but we can't get caught up in that hype, man. You know what I'm saying? But continuing on in the reads, remember now, well, Salaki, from where I was continuing on, all right, when it says, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them, basically when you're already old and, you already, did what you wanted to do in life, the Lord may not look kindly unto that, man. The Lord may not show you mercy. The Lord may not, deliver you when you want to be delivered, because you decided to wait on it. All right. So continuing on, and it reads, "While the sun or the light, or the moon, or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after their rain. In the days, when the keepers of the house shall tremble." All right. So basically, when this whole program shuts down, man. All right. That's what that's referring to. When this whole program shuts down, when the keepers of the house shall tremble. Now, what's this referring to as the keepers of the house? That's referring to all the economical analysts up there, man. All right, all the economical analysts that look at, that study the economy, they study the stocks, they study the currencies, the dollars, the taxes, the inflation. They study all these things through graphs and things of that nature. And what does it say when the keepers of the house shall tremble? And guess what? They are trembling, man. All right, these high level people in the economies, they're trembling, man. All right, why? Because they know that the near future is going to be perilous. They know that dollar is about to be made obsolete, and that's something that the elites are doing, as well, man. They pushing for a cashless society where they're going to force the population to take the CHIP. All right, which we have to use these code words. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, man, you gonna get your channel taken down, man. Esau on the defensive when it comes to that. You know. But Salakia, hold on. All right. All right, so continuing on, and it says, "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grandeur cease, because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened." All right, and that's what's gonna happen. When the keepers of the house tremble. All right, basically it's like the economical analysts. These people in the high position. They're already nervous. That's happening, right? What else does it say? All right, when it says, and the strong men bow themselves, and the grandeur cease, because they are few. Going into the labor, man, the jobs. Ain't gonna be no more jobs out here, man. Ain't gonna be no more jobs out here, because everything, the whole infrastructure of America is gonna be shut down, man. The whole society is gonna be shut down. Okay, you won't be able to get jobs. Why? Because the dollar is gonna be obsolete, man. All right, what are you gonna be working for? All right, let's say the dollar crashes, right? We in that day when the dollar crashes, and they do away with the dollar to usher in their digital currency, right? Their CBDC, right? what are you going to be working for? You know what I'm saying? Where they're going to try to usher into CBDC. You know, what are you going to be working towards, man? You're going to be working for that instead. You know, since the dollar is going to be, you know what I'm saying, done away with. You know, and they going to implement, then you got to wait till they implement that digital currency. You know what I'm saying? Guess what? You're going to be asked out. All right? You're not going to, there is not going to be any jobs, man. All right? Because that dollar's going to be worth nothing. You're going to be working for nothing, basically. You know? Continuing on in the reads. Let me see. All right? And those that look out the windows, it's like, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. You know, because it's going to be, it's a dark future that lies ahead for Babylon, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a dark future for those that lie ahead, you know, that waits ahead for this wicked ass kingdom. All right? The door shall be shut in the streets, and when the sound of the grinding is low, you know, meaning when this catches obsolete, when that economy collapses, all right, and we're in the thick of Jacob's trouble, all right, them doors is gonna be locked up, man. People gonna be boarding up their houses, boarding up their doors. They're already looting, you know, stores in LA. You know what I'm saying? They're already looting up 7-Elevens in LA. You know, that's how it starts, man. Which I'm not too sure, you know, about the circumstances surrounding, you know, them lootings that be going on in LA. But yo, man, if they doing that shit for fun, let's say something happened, you know, Jake just decided to go do that for no reason. You know what I'm saying? How much more when there is a reason, man? How much more when they really starving out here? When the stores is actually empty? When they saying when the truck drivers are saying, "Hey, man, they shutting us down. We won't be able to get we won't be able to distribute your essentials onto your city." Then what's gonna happen? It's gonna be open season on the week. It's gonna be open season on the neighbor, man. You know, and that's the time when Yahweh Shem is gonna be with, you know, is gonna deliver you or not. You know, that's one of those times right there. You know, because people's gonna be going into their neighbors. You know what I'm saying? They think you got it good, man. They're gonna be trying to get up in your house, man. You know, they're gonna try to get what you have, and the scriptures talk about that, man. It's a deadly serious future that's coming to Babylon. All right. Continuing on in the reason, he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Okay, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Basically, ain't gonna be no more mirth in the land, man. All right, the mirth of the land will be gone. Okay, why? Because hey, man, people gonna be starving. You know, people gonna be dirty. Hey, they probably gonna cut the water off. No more showers. So how are you gonna go take a shower now, man? Ain't no rivers nearby. You're in the city. How are you gonna do that? You know, man, it's not gonna be a good time for you Babylonians, man. All right, but it's cool. Because only the elect is going to be delivered out of that. All right. So with that, we're going to go to the next precept. Let me see. Yeah, we're going to go to the book of Second Esdras, chapter 15. Because these are the things that are mentioned in the scriptures, man. All right. And let me see if I can find that other one. I think it's in the 20s. Yep, there it is. The book of Second Esdras, chapter 6, verse 22. All right, because this is something that's going to happen here in Babylon, man. You know, the food plants being destroyed all throughout the country, and we're talking numbers in the hundreds, man. You know, numbers in the hundreds. These people don't know what's coming. These people don't. The average person is not aware that their food plants is being destroyed. You know, and that's why the scriptures say that it shall come unto them as a thief in the night. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna bring it out right here. The book of Second Esdras, chapter 6, verse 22, and it reads, "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown." You know, and that's going into the fields, the farms, the crops. You know, the places that are sown, you know, they should be giving out their fruits. They should be giving out their yield, their harvest, right? But they're going to be unsown because ain't going to be nobody's going to be planting them. All right, because the grinders are going to cease. You know, there's going to be no more jobs. You know. And then what else does it say? "In the full storehouses shall suddenly appear, shall suddenly be found empty." Now the key word is sudden, you know, because you're gonna see the full. You know, you go to a store, it's full. You know, you got the products there. You know, everything lined up. You know what I'm saying? Everything cool 1 week, right? Then the next week you go there, ain't no more shit, man. Ain't no more products. Oh, we're running out on products. Ain't no, they're not getting the supplies in time. In time. You know what I'm saying? The trucks are, it's a problem with the truck drivers. They can't move the products. They can't move the essentials. So now what's that going to create? That's going to create chaos, man. And we only speak as men how the society is going to fall apart, but we're witnessing its demise, man. And we extrapolate and we see how it's falling apart. You got a situation with the distribution. You got the supply chain crisis, right? You got the dollar on the decline, and you got these wars that's about to pop off worldwide. The stage is set for our salvation, man. We just have to endure through Jacob's trouble. We just have to endure the hour of temptation. And guess what? If you're of the elect, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is going to have you endure. Okay? And now we're going to bring out in the book of Revelations, if I'm not mistaken, it's chapter 3. Oops. All right, there we go. All right, that's Revelations 20. I'll go a little bit further back. Yep, right there. All right, and the scriptures talk about, kind of relaying back, to one of the main points, us doing, going out here in these highways and hedges, working out our salvation. Guess what, man? Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, he's going to look at that. He's going to consider that. All right, as I read in 2 Corinthians chapter 15, the reward is coming, and salvation is part of that reward. Not knowing a death by pain is part of that reward, because the wicked of our nation is going to know death by pain. All right, these wicked 2/3 is going to know death by pain, and rightly so, man, because look at what they're doing. Like every week you see a new low that Jake is doing, man, of all the tribes, of whether it be so-called Negroes on down to the so-called Mexicans, man. They another week passes and something new happens. Some crazy shit happens. Like you just had this week, you know what I'm saying, a whole city. I wouldn't say a whole city, but it was complete chaos that happened in TJ, man. That's Issachar land, Tijuana. You know what I'm saying? A whole bunch of shootings and shit. Is that how you want? Is that how you want your people to live? For the rest of the time? No, man. And that's why you got brothers out there, in Mexico doing their thing, man, because they trying to get out of here. They ain't trying to be in a country where you could be, drinking something, you could be having a good time, and you probably at a bar. Next thing you know, the whole shit gets shot up because two people had a disagreement, man. What's that? That ain't living, man. But that's why, you know what I'm saying? The scriptures call this the valley of the shadow of death, which that's mainly referring to Babylon, America, because this is the main place where you could get destroyed out here, man. This is the main place where you could lose your life. You get pulled over, that could be it, man. The cop just feels like he's shooting somebody that day. The cop gets a little trigger happy that day. That's it. All these STDs at an all-time high. You mess around with the wrong chick, you catch something that going, that you won't be able to run away from. That's the type of world we live in, man. You can't have kids because you send them to school. They're going what, man? They will tell your son that if you think you're a girl, it's okay, and then your son gonna come back to you talking about he a female, and he gonna get the surgery done, and there's nothing you could do about it because it's sanctioned by the government, man. They'll actually lock you up if you try to stop that. But that's just the world we live in, man, and that's why we desire a new heaven and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. That's why we look forward unto the coming of the day of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. All right, that's why we all up in the news, man. Keeping up with the prophecies on our watch. Because we trying to get up out of here. Okay, so Book of Revelations, chapter 3, verse 10, and it reads, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation." All right, so that's one of the clear cut scriptures that let you know, man, you work out your salvation in this thing, the Lord going to deliver you and if you're of the elect, I have to add, the Lord will deliver you from the coming troubles, man. All right, the 1/3 remnant is going to be delivered from Jacob's trouble, man. Okay. So I'm going to read it again. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the world. All right, because what's going to happen is you're going to, it's going to be a broken society. Society's going to break down. It's going to be chaos, pandemonium, right? People's going to be killing each other. And let's describe that. All right, let's go into that. We can go into the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 15. We can start at the top and then jump down to the key point. All right. So, book of 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 1, and it reads, "Behold, speak down the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth," said Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. All right, and that's the spirit you have to be on, man. You got dudes out there. They, I don't know what happens. They separate from a group, and then they make it their life. You know what I'm saying? Their life mission to slander the group. Focus on the mission, man. It's the testimony of Hamashiach Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy, man. You got all these things going on, and dudes wanna focus on talking about a group, man. No, we got a mission to do, man. All right. And at the end of the day, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai judges everything, But anyways, going back to 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 1, and it reads, all right, verse 2, and it reads, "And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true." All right, and that's basically what happened. Scriptures and prophecies written in paper. All right, and this is all we need, man. You got Jake's over here talking about you got the third book of this and the fifth book of that. We're going into the book of this person and the book of that person. It says this over there, man. Just focus on the scriptures, man. Because these books will bug you out, man. If you're not well grounded in this truth, you read the wrong thing, it's gonna bug you out. It's gonna have you thinking that blue is white, man. When it's really blue. You know what I'm saying? The truth is simple. That the scripture says, His ways are plain unto the elect, man. His ways are plain unto the elect. You don't gotta make this thing complicated. But see, that's one of the things that Jake do it, for vanity. Oh yeah, this brother's super deep, and look how smart this brother is. Look how eloquent this brother is, and it's vainglory, man. Just work out your salvation, man. Earn them shekels in heaven. All right, instead of trying to gain, the admiration of people and men. You know what I'm saying? Which ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? It's good to people see you in a good light. You know what I'm saying? But it's a balance, man. You overly want to, seek attention and seek fame and seek glory. That's when it becomes wicked, man. Instead of doing that, just, hey, man, worry about what you, how about Shimmy, how should I think about you, man? And that, man, that'll really put you on your P's and Q's. That'll really put you on your what's it called? Eggshells, man. Because of the fear of Yahweh Shimmy Yahushai. All right, and he's not a terrible power. That he's just gonna, abuse you and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? No, But anyways, going on into the precept. All right, second Ezra chapter 15, verse 3. All right, and it reads, "Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee." All right, basically, don't fear what these people think about you, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's going into, people in the world, man. Because, hey, the scripture says we're made a spectacle unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. Right? We're made a spectacle unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So, we don't really care what these people think about us, man. Because at the end of the day, we're working out our salvation. At the end of the day, the joke's going to be on them. Though willing we're of the elect, we get beamed up into the chariots. And they still, down there, about to get hit by the missiles, man. All right? Continuing on, and it says, "Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee." So that's going into the faithlessness. That's going into how they faithlessly mock at the gospel, at this truth, man. You know what I'm saying? You got people that do that. They want to come and be on some smart shit. Think they could get over on you. Little do they know, they put in a mark of destruction upon themselves, man. They're sealing themselves to be destroyed. So continuing on, and it reads, all right, "For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness." Okay, and that's what's going to happen. Those that don't have any faith are going to die. And you have to make a peace with that, you know what I'm saying? Because It could be people in your family that don't got no faith, man. And you got to be at peace with that they may not make it, because at the end of the day, we have the understanding that they're going to be back in the kingdom. So they're not going to be gone forever, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and guess what? Some of your family might be the ones to turn you in. How about that? So you get a soft spot for your family, you might be destroyed out here, man. You get a soft spot for your girl, she might be the one. The Lord might put the spirit on her to turn your ass in. And that's like the last thing you see before you go into captivity is her pointing you out. You get hemmed up by the centurions, by the what's it called? Whatever enforcements that they send against you. Whatever troops they send against you, get hemmed up by them. You know what I'm saying? Hemmed up by them. That's what happens when you get soft on these people in the world, man. You gotta understand, man. These people in the world, man, they susceptible to demons, man. You gotta love them at arm's length. If you have certain attachments, I wouldn't say attachments, but if you have certain relationships with certain people, you have to love them at arm's length, man. You can't be all up in your girl. You can't be all up in your family, or too tight, too close to somebody that's of the world. Because hey, when that time comes, you don't know where they're gonna go. Are they gonna go right, or are they gonna go left, man? Are they gonna follow you? Because hey, you could have that happen. You might have a friend in the world, that he may not, you know what I'm saying? He may not be a prophet, but he might be of the 1/3 because he's a help. He probably help you out with a few things, transportation. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he gave you a water. Like Scripture says, he that gives, water unto the prophet shall receive a prophet's reward. You got people that are put in our lives to help us and certain things. But even then, you never know, man. We never know, even with us. You know what I'm saying? Even with us, we never know. That's why this thing is deadly serious. That's why, the scriptures say, work out your salvation with fear and trembling, man. But anyways, I kind of got a little bit sidetracked. All right, continuing on, and it reads verse 5. The quote said, Yahweh I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. All right, and these are the plagues where that the world is going to be punished with, man. Sword, famine, death, and destruction, man. The sword, how? Because martial law. All right, the different, people, rising up, killing each other, looting each other. You know what I'm saying? White supremacist militias. Gangs. Certain. It's going to be factions out there. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be people out there that's going to come together and try to prey on another, or come together on some. Let's defend ourselves. And if Yahweh ain't with that, they're going to be destroyed, man. Hey, you might come across a desert city. A desert city on some Wild West shit. People just get there and they just live there. They form a little society there. You know what I'm saying? Like a little community there. And you have to maneuver and go through that, man. But if Yahweh is not with that, that'll diminish into pandemonium real quick, man. Because at the end of the day, these people will not be able to deliver themselves from the plagues that's coming upon the whole world. All right. So let's go back to the book of 2 Ezra chapter 15. All right, but we're gonna jump down onto where it goes into the society, turning against each other, man. Because that whole, you know what I'm saying? Because you see them post-apocalyptic movies, where people get together, they make like these little communities and try to thug it out, man. Hey, I don't think that's gonna be a thing in Jacob's Trouble, man. Because that killing spirit, is gonna run abound, is gonna abound in these times. If you look at everything, you look at the media, you know what I'm saying? You look at how people are being programmed to kill each other. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, ain't gonna be no people getting together and trying to thug it out, man. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? It might be some temporary shit until it all breaks through. But either way, it could be something that the Lord allows to happen, so that one of the elect could be, you know what I'm saying, delivered. Not delivered, but sustained in that day. As a purpose to sustain that elect. And then once the elect leave, hey, man, all hell breaks loose. That's how the Lord works, man. That's how Yahweh Shai works, man. He has care for his elect, and the elect are above the other people, man. The elect are above the other Israelites too. So Salakia, let's go into You know what I'm saying? Second Ezra chapter 15. We're going to go into verse 14. All right, so second Ezra chapter 15, verse 14, and it reads, Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. All right, and that's what's going to happen, man. One people shall stand up to fight against another. You know that goes into, hey man, from grand to small scale things. You know that's what that goes into, man. You know, one people should stand up to fight against another, man. Man, that's nation against nation. You know, world wars. You know what I'm saying? Wars against, you know, different nations, and even in the smaller scale. You know, when this place, you know what I'm saying? When all hell breaks loose, that's talking about the different factions. You know, people just, you know, ganging up, you know, and going to fight against each other, man. You know, riots, whatever unfolds, you know, in the chaos of Babylon. Because one of the things too is it's a lot of confusion out here, man. All right, it's a lot of confusion. That's why the scriptures say the city of confusion is broken down. All right, because you got a lot of philosophies, you got a lot of doctrines. You know what I'm saying? People, you know, hey man, this kingdom is divided in itself, man. All right, this kingdom is divided in itself, man. You have two. I don't even want to say two opposing because I don't know the exact number of the different philosophies, but you know, you got the main one. You know, you got two political opposing views here in this country, man. You got on one side, you got the Democrats, which is, you know, the reincarnation of the Roman plebeians, all right, and you got on the other side, you got the Republicans, which is the reincarnation of the Roman patricians, man. And nothing is new under the sun. You know, these two parties were at odds. They are at odds now, and they were at odds back then because they're the same people coming back into the reincarnation, man. All right, they're the same people that were there when Rome fell, and guess what? They're here now as America's falling. Okay, so continuing on, and it reads, you know, so with all these, you know, different, you know, opinions and opposing opinions, there's gonna be a lot of bloodshed out here, man. When they no more 911, and these people, you know, are enabled, you know what I'm saying, to war against each other, you know, rise up against each other. You know, it's, hey, the scriptures talk about that, man. You know, and actually we're gonna bring it out right here. All right, because you got civil wars too, man. Hey, Donald Trump's house got raided, man. You know what I'm saying? That's Egyptian against Egyptian right there. All right, and where does it say that? It says right here in the book of Isaiah chapter 19, and it reads, "The burden of Egypt, behold, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua rideth upon a swift cloud." Now, real quick before we, you know, continue on, it says the burden of Egypt. All right, now this ain't talking about the Egypt in the ancient times with the pyramids. You know what I'm saying? No, man. This is talking about America. This is talking about Babylon. All right, because, you know, the scriptures also use code words. They use they had a name for it. You know what I'm saying? But they use code words, man. They use certain nicknames. You know, they call one city another city, but really it means this city. You know, like for example, here in Isaiah, you know what I'm saying? You have, you know, the burden of Egypt. It's not talking about, you know, Egypt back then. It's talking about Babylon. All right, because in Revelation chapter 11, you know, what does it say? The great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, right? So that there tells you that this great city also can be called Egypt. Okay. So when it talks about the burden of Egypt, all right, translation is really talking about the burden of America. All right, when you go into that word burden, like we went into it, I believe, last week, you know, it's talking about the prophecy. So it's really saying the prophecy of America. All right, and that's what separates. You know, that's what. How do I put it to you? Yeah, that's what separates us from your pork chop eating pastors, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we got the right breakdown. We know what these words are talking about, man. We know what these, you know, different, you know, nicknames, you know, proverbs. You know what I'm saying? What they refer to in the scriptures, man. We understand the dark sayings, starting with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who we learn from, man. All right, let me grab a little sip of water, man. right, so starting from the top, it reads in Isaiah chapter 19 and 1, the burden of Egypt, behold, Yahweh Shemi Hawashai rideth upon a swift cloud. All right, and that swift cloud is talking about a UFO, a chariot, man. So-called UFO. I don't want to say a UFO. I'd rather say so-called UFOs, man. All right, because that's what Esau calls them. You know what I'm saying? And that's not what they are. I mean, yeah, they call them, UFO stands for unidentified flying objects. But we already identified them, man. They're no longer unidentified flying objects. Because they've been identified since the ancient times, but that's how proud this devil is, to not want to acknowledge, the scriptures, man. That's how proud he is. He wants to be the one to rewrite history and tell the world, how, world history according to his eyes, man. That's why the scripture, that's why it's called his story, man. But guess what? The true story is going to unfold. Okay? The true story is unfolding. All right? I don't want to say it's going to unfold. The true story is unfolding. All right? So going back to Isaiah chapter 19, continuing on, and it reads, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. All right? So that's talking about, the big father shit, man. That's talking about how, we're talking about, how Yahweh Shemi Shai is coming with in a swift chariot. That's talking about the fathership that Yahweh Shai is going to be in, and all the idols of Egypt is going to be moved there with, because, hey, man, they not, because at the end of the day, these idols is nothing but, images made with hands, they're just creations of men, you know what I'm saying? And soon it's going to be made manifest. Yeah, you got, devils that, worship and go into these idols. You know what I'm saying? Even the wicked 2/3 that dabble in witchcraft, they go into idols. All right, but that's just that demonic left hand energy that Yahweh Shemi Shai has set up to deceive those that aren't meant to get this, man. All right, because that's another thing. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna tell somebody that's deep into that voodoo or santeria, for the Ephraimites or Dominicans, if I'm not mistaken, to come into the truth, unless they're of the elect, because they're already sealed and they're already set in his spiritual broken system, man. That's why, what I'm saying, we're not looking for everybody, man. We're not out here to deliver the whole world. Hey, shalom, you know what I'm saying? But that's why we're not over here, to deliver the whole world, man. All right? So like we were saying, the book of Isaiah chapter 19, verse, continuing on with verse 1, all right, and it reads, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. Why? Because of all the ICBM missiles, coming down on this place, man. The laser beams too. It's all gonna come together into a good mix to completely cook this place up, man. All right. The Lord ordered a well-cooked meal, man. Okay? A well-cooked meal, man. No red in it. All right, so verse 2, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. All right, and I'll set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, Americans against Americans. All right, whether it be through civil wars, right? Whether it be, different militias rising up on some survival of the fittest, different factions rising up on that survival of the fittest. That's what's going to happen, man. Egyptians against Egyptians. And it's already happening. It's already taking place. You got Donald Trump his house got fucking raided, man. When in the history of the USA has an ex-president's house ever been raided like that, man? And actually, he's trying out to become president, an ex-presidential candidate. Or I don't want to say ex-presidential candidate. I want to say a presidential candidate. When in the history of the U.S. did the FBI raid the U.S. president, man? And they might do this. I'll speak as a man. You know what I'm saying? But they, I suspect that they doing this, to keep Donald Trump from coming back into office. That's just how divided that this kingdom is, man. They making moves against each other. They trying to lock each other up in order to keep one from coming back into power. And you know what that behavior reminds you of? That's that ancient Roman behavior, man. How they used to kill brothers. They used to kill family members. They used to kill, they used to betray family members so they could get that position of power. You know, that's what's taking place. You think such a kingdom is gonna make it all much longer? No, man. This kingdom don't got much longer left, man, because it's divided against itself, man. All right. So let me see. All right, and it says, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, even in the houses, man. The Lord bringing a division even in the houses. All right, and it says, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. All right, so this is the type of hell and turmoil that's going to come upon the society. Okay, but guess what? The elect is going to be saved out of that. All right, so let's go back to 2nd Ezra chapter 15. And then we're going to transition on to Psalms 91, which is the main point, the main, the main, the main point of the camp, man. Because our salvation and us being sustained in Jacob's trouble is also part of prophecy, man. All right, and Yahweh Shimi Havushai, as it is written, actually, hold on. As it is written in Isaiah chapter 55 and 11, if I'm not mistaken. All right, guess what? None of these words shall return unto him in vain. Meaning everything is going to come to pass. It ain't going to be a thing where, one prophecy happens and then another prophecy didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like the prophecy of America being destroyed. Okay, yeah, that's coming to pass. But what about the elect being saved out of America? Oh, no, that's not going to happen. No, man, everything is going to happen. Everything that is found written in this book is going to happen. All right? So, going back to 2nd Ezra chapter 15. All right, let me see. Verse 14. I'm going to start at verse 14 once again. And it reads, Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. All right, and there shall be sedition amongst men, and invading one another. Okay, that's what's gonna happen. Sedition amongst men. Hey, man, when all hell breaks loose, you best believe the rich are gonna be targeted by the regular people. By the common people. The rich is gonna be definitely targeted, man, because you got rich people. They're not of the elites. And that's just how double. That's just how treacherous Esau is, even amongst his own, man. What I'm saying? You to have some amongst his, of his nation that are living good. Well, I want to say some. I want to say a lot of his nation. The nation of Edom. A lot of so-called white people. That live good, that live rich. What I'm saying? They got the house on the hills and whatnot. But they're not in that $1 billion club, man. They're not in that trillionaire club. You know what I mean? So they're not gonna get a chance to sit in the chariots, man. That goes to show you how wicked this devil is, man. You know what I'm saying? But you best believe them people's gonna be targeted when all hell breaks loose, man. Them houses on the hills and them houses and them beachfront homes where people live at. They want to be rich. They want to rub it in the faces of the their neighbors how rich they are. We're gonna rub it in the faces of the Jake how rich they are. They gonna be hit, man. There's gonna be open season on them. So going back to 2nd Ezra chapter 15. All right, it says, let me see. For there shall be sedition among men. All right, hey, you're gonna have brides pop off, man. All right, sedition goes into rising up against the government, man. Rising up against the government. Whatever king, president, rising up against that. And they do they little test runs, man. All right, like for example in Sri Lanka, that was a test run. That was a test trial to see, how a society would react. And it's crazy how, they use Sri Lanka, which is like one of those. It's off the coast of India, But it's crazy how they use that because it goes to show, what I'm saying. These people are in that type of mentality, man. They're in a heathenistic mentality, So it's no surprise that they choose, such a country to do their their test trials because it gives an accurate depiction of what Babylon, these Babylonians would do, man. It gives an accurate depiction of how people would act when all hell breaks loose, when the dollar collapses. You know what I'm saying? So continuing on in the reads, all right, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. Okay, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. All right, so they're not going to regard who's president, man. And you have that here in Babylon, man, on both sides. You have, Donald Trump got elected. Guess what? It was riots all over the country because I believe, if I remember correctly, they were called Antifa. They're going all over the country, rioting. And a lot of this is CIA agent provocateur activity, man. Because what he's doing, what Esau's doing is he's stirring the pot, man. He's setting things up for his new enterprise. But these agendas that he has set for his new enterprise, all right, these snares, as the scriptures refer to them, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what Esau's doing. He's setting a snare. These snares, all right. Guess what, man? It's not gonna be. It's gonna be the same thing that takes him down. All right. In the same period of him trying to activate and enable his new enterprise, right? That's when he's gonna be taken down, as the scripture says, man. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. You know. So that's how you know that the time, the time of our salvation, the time of our redemption, is nearer than we ever really believed, man. All right. So going back into 2nd Ezra chapter 15. Let me see. All right, verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. All right, and why so? Because of martial law, man. Okay, and matter of fact, let's bring out certain scriptures dealing with the martial law. Just to illustrate the destruction of just to illustrate the hell that's going to unfold here in Babylon, man. Hey, Shalom, Mak Yabashim Shabrakatah. All right, so let me see. So we're going to start at the book of Revelation, chapter 12 and 12, to set that foundation. All right, because Esau's getting, restless, man. All right, Esau knows we got next, man. Esau, these elites, they look at the telescopes, the NASA, the different space programs, and they see all them chariots up there, man. They scared, man. They know it's about to go down. All right, so he's in a position where he's making, he's rushing his moves now. He's moving fast now. I think I saw it in an article somewhere, that by December of this year they're gonna do away with all cash. So basically the dollar is gonna be obsolete by December of this year. That's just something I heard. I don't know if it's gonna, actually come to pass. You know what I'm saying? But that's just something that's floating in the air, man. So book of Revelations, chapter 12 and 12, and it reads, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has but a short time." And guess what? Even these low-level Edomites, man. That's why you got the Karens. You know what I'm saying? The Karens, going out there and making scenes, because they can feel in their spirit that their kingdom and their reign and the power that they used to have is no longer there. That it's not about them anymore. It's about the children of Israel. And that's evident, man, because all these people want to be like us, man. We're the salt of the earth. So when you see who these other nations emulate and want to be like, you know what I'm saying, then who, you see spiritually who has next. Hey, even the Issacharites, man. You got the people in Japan, they emulate the Issacharite, cholo culture here in California, man. You know what I'm saying? They do it better than them. You know what I'm saying? But hey, that's just what it is, man, because we the salt of the earth. And we got next, man. All right. So book of Revelations, continue on reading. I'm going to read it again. "Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has but a short time." And this devil does have a short time, man. He sees them, you see the chariots, more and more, appearing more and more frequently. He gets nervous, man, starts making his moves. Now he got the, he's turning on the double time for his agendas, man. And these are the same agendas that's going to sink him. They're going to be his downfall. All right. Let me just take this little sip of water. Hold on. Let me see where I was at. Yeah, 2 Corinthians chapter 15. All right. So going into another precept that goes into martial law and Jake being just completely destroyed, man. In the time of Jacob's trouble, not completely destroyed, but the 2/3, getting jacked up in the time of Jacob's trouble, man. We're gonna go into 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 60, verse 70. All right, and it reads, "For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. They shall be like mad men, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses." All right, and that's what's gonna happen. All right, the Pimachu's gonna come in, they're gonna fucking take you out their houses, man. Put you in camps, It says for your own good. And guess what? You're gonna have those of our people that's gonna run to the camps, man, because they got no faith in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. They don't know any better, man. And so be it, man. Shit. We trust in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. That's our power. That's our shield. That's our buckler. All right. That's our rock. We don't gotta trust in no devil and whatever device is coming out. We know the CHIP, to survive, man. Especially to be living in this kingdom, man. No, hell no. We looking for the new heavens and the new earth. All right. So going back to 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 15. Or sorry, not 15, verse 18. All right, and it reads, "For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled." All right, and ain't nobody prouder than these Babylonians, man. You know what I'm saying? That's another reason why these other people hate us too. Well, I don't say us, but that's the reason why these other nations hate Babylonians, man, because they're just proud. The proudest people on earth, so entitled. You know what I'm saying? They walk around with that spirit on them. These other nations, feel that proud spirit. They're like, man, who the fuck these people think they are? You know what I'm saying? Americans, But that's the way it is, man. All right? The city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed. And men shall be afraid. Right? Because it's going to be so much looting, so much chaos going on. You know what I'm saying? That's just going to be the state of society. All right? Continuing on, and it reads, "And a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor." All right? So this is where it gets to the, even the smaller scales. You be living in your house. You know what I'm saying? And all hell break loose. It could be the guy next door that want to come up in there and spoil you, man. Shoot you up, kill you. You know what I'm saying? Want to take your wife, take your food, your resources. That's how it's gonna be, man. And it's realistic because guess what? That's how Americans were programmed to be. All right, in this American society, you're programmed in order to go up, in order to go get ahead. That means someone else has to fall behind. It's that dog eat dog world that Esau programmed his population to do. That's that capitalist, what I'm saying, mentality, which is not about how people, it's not about capitalism or things like that. But that's just how this devil, here in Babylon, that's how this devil, programmed his people to be, man. All right? And I say his people because, hey, man, we have our own thing, man. We are our own nation. You know what I'm saying? And that's going into us, in this knowledge, man. But the 2/3 they're as the heathen. That's why I say his people, because they, going after his ways, as it is written in the book of let me see, the book of John, chapter 8, verse 44. Actually, it's over here. There it is. All right, so the book of John chapter 8, verse 44, and it reads, "You're of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh the lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it." All right, and that's referring to Jakes that take after Esau, man. Instead of coming back into the lots of commandments, they take after Esau, man. Even in Israel, man, you see that. Instead of pushing what's right, they wanna go against the grain and make and have their people go far left, man. Like you got ISUBK, man. You know what I'm saying? They talking about some, they talking about the charagma, is not the CHIP. They saying that Revelation 13 and 16 is not talking about the CHIP. Is something else, some embargo, something spiritual, right? And then you go into the little things. I wouldn't say the little things, but you go into other things too. They go off. What do they say? You could pop your woman in their anus, man. You could have anal sex. That's sodomy, man. You're not supposed to be doing that, But it goes to show you that even in this truth, even in Israel, all right, you got jakes that follow after this devil, because that's what this devil does, man. He's into that sodomy shit, He's into that sodomy shit. But guess what, man? You know what I'm saying? He's gonna get taken down because of that. And those that cleave onto him, those of our people that take after him, all right, that are of their father the devil, right, that take after Esau and his ways, they're gonna be destroyed. Okay? At least they repent. They're gonna be destroyed, man. All right, we got here in the book of Proverbs chapter 11 and 21. Just let's see, shit. All right, so the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 21, and it reads, "So hand joined in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered." All right, so you see right there, it's point blank period, man. Though hand joined in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished. That includes the wicked as in Esau, Edom, and also, too, the two-thirds that's hand joined in hand with him, man. But who's going to be delivered? The elect. All right, the righteous shall be delivered. What does it say? Right? It says, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. Okay? So that's going into the elect, man. All right? And that's the overall theme, of the scriptures, man, that we're going to be in slavery. All right? And there's going to come a transition between a transition of power, between the oppressor and the oppressed, where the oppressed is going to be in power and the oppressor is going to be oppressed, man. The oppressor is going to fall to the pits. That's what's going to happen. Huh? No money. Oh, thank you, miss. Yeah, I know. We just doing what we got to do, You have a good afternoon, miss. Yeah, people coming, money thing. I don't really do the money thing, man. You know what I'm saying? But hey, she could be a Jake, man. She looked like a so-called, Chinese lady. Hey, that could be an Israelite foreigner, man. Our people were scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, man. See, Jake out here want to be on that black power shit, man. You want to be on that black shit so bad, go join the fucking Black Panthers, man. Go join the NFAC, the no fuck around crew. Go join them, fucking march with them, the black power thing with your fucking rifle in your hand. Go do that instead, man. You got no place for carnal ass Jakes over here, man. But anyways, salaki for that. You know what I'm saying? But going back to 2nd Ezra chapter 15, all right, verse 19, and it reads, "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation." All right, and that's what's going to transpire. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. Okay, meaning he's not going to care how long they've known each other. How they could have been childhood friends, man. Once you see your kids starving and they looking at you like ain't nothing to eat, you know what I'm saying? That's when you want to go and look at your neighbor like, hey, man, you better share some of that. That's what these people are gonna do. Why? Because of a lack of bread and great tribulation. They're not going to have all their necessities. The water's going to come out. It's like the water's going to be cut off. The light is going to be cut off. All right, so what's going to be left? What I'm saying? What's going to be? Nothing, man. The food, they won't be able to get any food. That's great tribulation, man. No hygiene, no showers. You know what I'm saying? No warmth because of the heat is out. The gas is out. Sitting there shivering up with blankets, hungry. That's great tribulation, man. Could be a whole weekend. The whole family have nothing to eat. What do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna go to their neighbor's house, man. Try to get, try to spoil what they can from their neighbors. You know. Continuing on in the reads. All right. Yeah. For lack of bread and for great tribulation. All right. So now from here, we're gonna segue into the book of we're gonna go into the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 9. All right, because that'll lay the foundation on how the Lord is going to, you know what I'm saying? The Lord is going to deliver his elect. All right, let me see where we are in time. We're at an hour and 21 minutes. We're at 31%. Okay, we got time. All right, man. All right, so book of Isaiah chapter, not Isaiah, book of 2nd Ezra chapter 19, chapter 9, verse 1. All right, and mind you, these books, these prophecies, they all say the same thing, in a sense. They all share, they're very consistent one to another. You could draw parallels from one book to another, man. All right, so a book of 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. And it reads, all right, I got to hold it with two hands because of the wind. And it reads, he answered me then and said, all right, okay. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before. Okay, and that's what we're doing on our watch, man. We're measuring the time diligently, man. We're looking at the news, keeping up with prophecy, and prophecy is manifesting before our eyes, man. All right, prophecy is manifesting. All right, and it reads, all right, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before. All right, so when you see, the things written in this book coming into pass and manifesting himself in the world, right? What does it say? Then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. All right, and that's what's going on. Matthew 24:6, man. A nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, wars, rumors of wars. Earthquakes in diverse, pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All that is coming to pass, man. All right, a year don't go by when you hear of big earthquakes, man. There's a lot of earthquakes that came to pass actually this year, man. A lot of earthquakes that happened this year. Now, we didn't really go into it too much because of the whole situation with Russia and Ukraine and China and Taiwan. It's like more weightier matters. But you best believe them earthquakes were happening this year too, man. All right, so continuing on in the reads, let me see. All right, then thou shalt well understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest, meaning the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, will visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, which we are seeing, Sri Lanka, you know what I'm saying? In Europe, you got uproars in there too. People are protesting, the situation. You got what's called the Yellow Vest movement. You know what I'm saying? Which I don't know what happened with them. I haven't been keeping up with them. But they were, raised up because of the, basically the living, they couldn't get a living. They call it the Yellow Vest movement because the Yellow Vest are people that wear, that work. You got to put on the Yellow Vest to work, the low end jobs. Factory jobs, warehouse jobs. Certain jobs in certain platforms. They have you wearing a vest, and these jobs are not very high paying, man. These are the bottom jobs. These are the main, labor jobs. Construction work. And the reason why they was protesting and it was rising up, and rioting. You know what I'm saying? Is because they not what's it called? They're not making enough money to live. The price of living is too high. you know, and it's only going to keep on rising because this society is going down, man. So you have that going on. You got a protest going on with the farms over there. You know what I'm saying? Because of the situation with Russia and Ukraine, it cut off something with them that they need to make food. You know what I'm saying? So you got a lot of stuff going on, man. You know, you got cities running out of energy. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna, further create more uproars. You know, how about Shimi Hawashai is shutting this devil down, man? All right, he's shutting this devil down. Okay, so continuing on in the reads. All right, then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spake of these things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. All right, so then thou shalt well understand that that the Lord, all right, Yahweh Shimi Hawashai, spake of those things from the days, even it's like from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. All right, because since the foundation of this creation, and not to sound deep or eloquent like that, which, hey man, ain't nothing wrong with, what I'm saying, but hey man, since the beginning, of everything, it was set out to play out the way it's playing out now. Okay, and it's going to play out, man. You know, don't let, what I'm saying, this devil deceive you. Don't let, this world deceive you. All right. In the near future, we're gonna be back in our own land, ruling the world, man. That's what's gonna play out. All right. So continuing on in the reads. Let me see. All right. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Okay. And that goes back to the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 3. The season, to all things there is a season. And this devil had a season, man. And not just this devil, but all these nations, all the nations, all the kingdoms that, Babylon takes after are the kingdoms that were ruling, in the ancient times that we were serving captivity in, from the Babylonians, we making a reference, to the dream of that statue, that Babylonian king had, what did he say, man? Was it king of Babylon or king of Syria? You know what I'm saying? I don't know which one or two. It was in Daniel's chapter. It was in the book of Daniel's, though. The dream with the statue. All right, where it starts with gold. That represents the Babylonians. Then it goes into silver that represents the Medo-Persian Empire. Then you go into the bronze. The bronze weights that goes into the Greek Empire, right? Then you go into the iron feet, and that goes into the Roman Empire. And then you got the feet of clay and iron that goes into this modern day. How you got some, and the reason why it's a feet of iron and clay is because you got some nations that not some nations, but some kingdoms that are stronger than others in this present day. You got, and that's what you see, man. Hey, you got Ukraine, for example. Why doesn't Russia pick on Britain? Why doesn't Russia pick on, what I'm saying, Poland? Why doesn't Russia pick on France, Spain? These more powerful, what I'm saying, these Germany, these more powerful countries. Why? Because they're strong. Why they pick on Ukraine? Because it's a weaker country. Okay, so going back into Second Ezra chapter 9. All right, and it reads, even so, the times also of the actually, Salakia, man, before I even go on, I forgot to bring the point home. Basically, all these are different heathens that ruled in the ancient times, that this kingdom models itself after. You know what I'm saying? So hey, man, it's only right that we got next, man. Ain't none of these countries having next. So continuing on in the reads. All right, and the end is manifest. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonders and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs. And every one that shall be saved shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed. All right, so that's who's going to be saved, man. All right, everyone that shall be saved shall be able to escape by his works and by faith. All right, by faith and works, man. You don't just proclaim you believe and you in the truth, and you're not doing anything to save your ass, man. What are you doing to save your ass, man? What are you doing to work out your salvation? If you in this truth, if you call yourself an Israelite, man. You know, if you're sitting at home, you just, you know, watch a video here and there, you know what I'm saying, but you don't do nothing with it, you know, you hiding your talent. And the Lord will judge you for that, man. You know? You're not even, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, not every brother's a prophet, right? You could be a help, you know, help brothers out with things or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Make garments. You know, you got different offices, you know what I'm saying, in this thing. You know? But if you're not doing nothing, you know, it's just you're just doing fuck all to get your to work out your salvation, you're not gonna obtain it, man. You're not going to obtain it. And that's the fear of Yahweh Shemi Shai. See, that's another thing too, man. You gotta be, hey, you come into this truth, you gotta be fearful of Yahweh Shemi Shai, man. You have to be. It's just, it's second nature. Like, why wouldn't you want to work out your salvation? You know? Is it because you don't really believe? You know what I'm saying? So continuing on, and it reads in the book of Second Ezra chapter 9, verse 7. I'm gonna read it again. And everyone that shall be saved shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed, and shall be preserved from said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. Okay? So, hey, as the scripture says, preserved from said perils, man. This person about to mess up his car. All right, but hey, preserved from said perils, man, because it's gonna be perils coming upon the world, man. As we read in the beginning of the camp, man, a time like never before, you know, that was never experienced since there was a nation in the world, man. All right, you already, you know, that you don't know what type of perils that entails, man. You know, that's talking about cannibalism. You know, here it is. We've been through it all, man. We've been through conquest, captivity, cannibalism. All right, here it is. The scripture is telling us that what's coming is going to trump all that. All right, what's coming is gonna outdo all that hell that we went through in the past, right? So wouldn't that want to put you in fear to serve Yahweh Shemi Yahushua? You know. Anyways, continuing on in the reads. All right. I think that's it on this, but let me just check. Might be a little bit more on that. All right. Yeah. Verse 9. Then shall they be in a pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and that they have cast them away despitefully, shall dwell in torments. So you see, the 2/3 is going to be in pitiful case, man. All right. Those that come into this truth, put their hand to the plow and look back and they drop it, they're going to be in a pitiful case. You know? Hey, some of them already are in a pitiful case, man. Lord probably bugged them out somewhere, man. You know? But continuing on in the reads, for such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. And they that have loathed my law, while they had yet liberty, when as yet a place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. So yeah, that's going back into Proverbs chapter 1. You know, 21 on down. You know what I'm saying? That goes into them, man. You know, they took the counsel of Yahweh Shemi Yahushai for naught. You know, as nothing. They you know, this wisdom, this truth. You know, they hear it and they make it as nothing, man. You know, you think the Lord's gonna save somebody like that? Hell no, man. All right. So continuing on in it reads, all right, for such as in their life have received benefits. Oh, Salakia. No, Salakia. Verse 12. All right, I was jumping up. It says the same must know it after death by pain. Okay, and that's what's gonna happen to the 2/3, man. Hey, these plagues are painful, man. The sword, famine. You know what it is to die of famine, man. You know what I'm saying? Pestilences. You might, you know, catch something that eats you up from the inside out. You know what I'm saying? You know what that is? That's death by pain. You know, that's death by pain, man. You know, you get a scratch, shit get infected. You got pus and worms coming out of your arm or wherever. You know, you got scratched that. You know, that's death by pain, man. You know. Let me see. I think it's in the book of Amos. But after this, we're gonna transition into after this, we're gonna transition into Psalms chapter 91 and close up the lesson. Let me see. We at 135, 25% left. Yeah, we got time. Yeah, this time we got time, man. I had to rush it last time. All right, so the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 18. All right, and actually, I'm gonna start at verse 16. All right, because this is the type of hell that's gonna come upon the world, man, especially here in Babylon. All right, so it reads, "Therefore, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, our power of hosts, the Lord said thus: Wailing shall be in all streets, and they shall say in all the highways, Alas, alas! They shall call the husbandmen to mourning, and such as are skillful of lamentation to wailing." You know, that's the complete opposite of mirth. All that party spirit is going to be done away with, man. All right, and it reads, "As if a man," or Salakia, and in all the vineyards shall be wailing, for I will pass through thee, said Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Woe unto you that desire the day of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. To what end is it for you? The day of Yahweh Shem Yahushai is darkness and not light. You know, and that's another thing too. You know what I'm saying? People, think that it's gonna be, that the Lord's gonna come. Everybody gonna sing Kumbaya around the campfire. You're gonna get a stern rebuke if you were being wicked, and then you just get to be, get to go on and living, man. You know, like you just go, get a flight to the kingdom of heaven from Babylon, and that's it. No, man. Lord's coming in. He's bringing judgment, man, because he's not happy with the world. All right. So this is mainly, referring to these, Christian pastors that, look forward to the day of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, but they worship they know not what, man. They don't know what they're desiring, you know. And ultimately they're gonna be caught out there because they're not teaching the truth. They're not calling on the right names. They're not, they're not teaching right, man. You know. So continuing on, and it reads. All right. And let me see. As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and the serpent bit him. Right? That's how it's gonna be, man. There ain't gonna be no rest, no deliverance, man. You know? You get out of one peril and then you land right into another. That's how it's gonna be. You know? You escape a FEMA camp, you're in the woods, and then you stumble across a white supremacist militia. You know, and I say that because, you know what I'm saying, I'm mainly talking about the average Jake, man. The average Jake that didn't receive this truth, didn't want to come into this thing, didn't want to put his hand to the plow, set this thing as not, right? That's the type of perils that they're gonna run into, man. They're not gonna be catching a break in Jacob's trouble. All right? As the scripture says, he that shall save his life shall lose it, and he that shall lose his life shall save it, man. That's why the scriptures talk about those that make their bodies a living sacrifice, receiving their reward. And Yahweh Shem Yahushai keeping us safe and sustaining us in the time of Jacob's trouble. All right. So with that, we're gonna go. Let me see. We already hit that. Okay, we're gonna go to the book of Psalms, chapter 11, and get this thing started. Well, sorry, not Psalm chapter 11, Psalm chapter 91. All right. All right, so the book of Psalms, chapter 91, verse 1, and it reads, He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Okay? And that secret place of Yahweh Shem Yahushai is this truth, man. All right? But you have to be of the elect. Okay? If you're not of the elect, you're not going to make it, man. If you're not of that 1/3 remnant, you're not going to make it. That's why we work out our salvation in fear and trembling, because we don't know if we're going to make it, man. And that's something that you see amongst a lot of brothers, man. A lot of brothers have that humble mindset, man. And that's the mindset that you should have. Of course, you have the confidence, you know what I'm saying, that okay, I'm in this truth, I might be of the elect. You know what I'm saying? Who else is doing this? You know what I'm saying? Who else is out here, doing, working out the salvation? But at the same time, we have that fear of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that he could turn off our candle, do us away at any moment. And that's something that we dread. That's one of our biggest fears. Because if he does that, that means you're not gonna make it. You were never of the elect. He just used you for a season. That's the fear of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You know what I'm saying? But continuing on, and it reads, all right. Let me see. Shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. All right, and I will say of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, He is my refuge and my fortress. My power, in him will I trust. Okay? Meaning that's the trust and that's the faith that you must have unto the Lord. Hey man, part of trust, is to leaving somebody to a burden over something that you have. Like for example, you know what I'm saying? Now just going into like the concept of trust, and kind of like the mindset that you have to, be in is, scripture says, cast the burdens on Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, right? Let him take control of the situation, and guess what? It'll come out favorable to you, if it be his will. Same way you would trust your friend, with your car, right? You don't see your car anymore. You don't know what he could be doing, but he is a solid friend. He's a trustworthy friend, right? So and you trust that when he tells you he's gonna come back, and with the car, he's gonna bring the car back. And you could let somebody borrow some money, right? And when he tells you he's gonna pay you back, he's gonna pay you back. That's what trust is, right? And guess what? Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is not a man that he should lie. Okay? If he promised us that he was going to keep us safe, lower in the world that number, that he was going to keep us safe in these perilous times, guess what? He's going to do it, man. That's part of the prophecy. Okay? So continue on, and it reads, all right, surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence, right? And that's going into this devil, man. You know what I'm saying? From the snare of the fowler. Okay, we at 20%, 41. Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna hit this book and then close it out. You know what I'm saying? But the snare of the fowler, man, going into all these agendas, leading up to, basically going into the CHIP, the charagma. All right, that's what that's going into. You know what I mean? Snare of the fowler, because it is a snare. He's making a snare. You want to come and live in this society? Well, you got to take that and you got to submit. So he could rule over you and have his brand over you, have total control over you, control what you can buy, what you can't buy, what you can think, what you can't think. You know what I'm saying? What mindsets and what people to follow. That's what these devils want, man. Full control. That's the society that they want. You sure you want to live in such society? You do something against the grain, they turn off your money. You can't buy food. You sure that's where you want to live at? That's the type of control. That's the type of society this devil wants. You know what I'm saying? But continuing on, and it reads, all right, so like from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. That's going into the ICBM missiles, because that's going to be the judgment for those who take the CHIP. All right, going into Revelation 7:14 and 9. Okay. So continuing on, and it reads, all right, he shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and thy buckler. All right. And that's another thing too. The wings and the feathers, that's going into the chariots, man. You know what I'm saying? The chariots, hey, the angels around you, man. And Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai sends his angels to encamp around them that fear him and deliver them, man. All right, as it is written. So we have trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and you really have to believe in these things too, man. You really have to believe that you got angels all around you protecting you in order to maneuver and do what you do, man. Continuing on, and it reads, thou shalt not be afraid of, it's like, thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor the arrow that flieth by the day, right? So that's going into, Jacob's trouble, you know what I'm saying, the terror by night, and then the arrow that flies by the day is them ICBM missiles, man. Leading up to that, because that's what's going to lead up to the second death, man, Jacob's trouble. And this devil comes in with his, his device, the CHIP, to usher in his new enterprise, right? And those that take that CHIP, which is the snare, they're going to be destroyed, man. All right, so continuing on, and it reads, all right, Salakia, and continuing on, and it reads, all right, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall come not nigh thee, right? And that's the type of deliverance that's waiting for us, man. Okay, you might be the only brother in the city that gets delivered, man. How about that? You might be the only brother in the city that gets delivered. You might get delivered from one city, you know what I'm saying? Some crazy shit might happen. You escape it. You go into another city and they tell you, damn, bro, you got out of that. Hey, man, ain't nobody got out of that. you're the only one. Imagine that. You know, whatever tribulation happens, you know, you be the only one that be delivered from them. You know, a certain area that, you know what I'm saying, that it was people there, you know, it was among them people, you know, maneuvering, you know what I'm saying, and then something happens, they all die, you the only one that lives, man. You know, the Lord opening up a way in the midst of chaos, the Lord opening up a way for you to deliver yourself, man. Or not deliver yourself, but Him delivering you. You know, that's the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And guess what? This is going to ultimately manifest in when the ICBM missiles hit. You know, 1,000 on one side, 10,000 on your left. All right, why? Because you're going to witness and see the reward of the wicked, man. All right, and actually, that's what the scripture says right here. You know, let me see. Right. So that's what it says right here. All right, verse 8, only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. You know, and that's going into that Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5. You know, the right to standing bold as lions. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? You know, obtaining that salvation and the people that get left behind, you know, 2/3 of our people, you know, they sit there and they're gonna groan in anguish and say to themselves, dang, they were right. You know, they were right, man. You know what I'm saying? So continuing on, and it reads, all right, Salakia, and it reads, only with thine eyes shalt thou see, Salakia, shalt thou behold, and see the reward of the wicked. Because thou hast made Yahweh Shem Yahushai, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. So that's what happens when you come into this truth wholeheartedly, man. You make Yahweh Shem Yahushai your habitation. You trust that Yahweh Shem Yahushai will deliver you out of here the same way you would trust your friend, you know, to bring your car back. You know what I'm saying? When you let him borrow it, that's, you know, what trust is, man. You know, you just have that trust. You're not gonna sit there and doubt. No, man. All right. So continuing on, and it reads, only it's like a verse 9, because it's like a verse 10. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. Right. So that, you know, goes back to, you know, that precept. You know, the angel of Yahweh Shem Yahushai encampeth around them that fear him. And this is the type of trust that you have to have unto the Lord, man. You know, that's just the mindset of the trust. You know, the same way you would trust your friend, you know, to come and bring the car back that you let borrow. You know, just throwing out an example. You know, that same feeling, because the friend is trustworthy. You know, I'm just throwing out this as an example. You know the person is trustworthy. You know, so you don't have any doubts in your mind that, oh, what if he takes off with the car? What if he does something stupid with the car? No, you know the person is trustworthy. You know the person is responsible. So you okay here, and then when they say they're gonna bring the car back, they bring the car back, right? That's the same mentality you have to have with Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All hell is breaking loose, all all this death is going on. You trust and leave it up to Him to handle the rest as far as your salvation, man. To handle the elements around you, you know. And that's the type of trust that the men of Yahweh Shem Yahushai had back in the day. You know, like for example, the prophet Elisha. You know, when he looked at his disciple and he told them, hey, those that be with us are more than they that be with them, in response to an army, you know, surrounding the whole, you know, the city that they were in. You have to have that type of trust, because Elisha had trust that Yahweh Shem Yahushai had his angels encamped around them. You know, and that's the same type of trust and faith that we ought to have. That's the same mindset that we ought to have, man. All right, so continuing on, and it reads, all right, for he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Thou shalt tread upon a lion, and an adder, and a young lion, and a dragon, and shalt thou trample under feet. Meaning nothing's going to be able to stand against us, man. Hey, you may have spiritual power. Who knows, man? How the Lord might have it, Yeah, who knows how Yahweh Shem Yahushai may have it transpired, but at the end of the day, all you got to know is that he's gonna take care of you, man. You know, that's that trust. All right, so continuing on in the reads, because he hath set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he hath known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him, and I will be with him in trouble, and I will deliver him and honor him. with long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. All right, and that's what's waiting for the elect, man. That's what's going to happen to the elect in the time of Jacob's trouble. We're going to be delivered, man. We're going to be sustained, and to further go into that, all right, we're going to close out with the book of Job. Let me see. Yeah, right there, book of Job, chapter 5 and 20. All right, yeah, let me see. All right, so the book of Job, chapter 5, verse 19. All right, and it reads, he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yet in 7 there shall no evil there shall no evil touch thee. All right, so these 6 troubles represent the plagues that's going to come to pass in Jacob's trouble. All right, and then in the 7th trouble, that represents the second death. The ICBM missiles hitting this place, and guess what? It says that shall not touch thee. As it was written in the book of Psalms chapter 91, you shall see the reward of the wicked, but it shall not come nigh thee. All right, that's what's going to happen. Okay, in famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. So while all hell is breaking loose, people ain't eating. Guess what? You're going to be fed. You're going to be able to drink. And as the scripture says, my servants shall drink, and ye shall be hungry, man. All right, my servants shall rejoice. But no, it's like my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. My servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be mourning. Roughly paraphrasing. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's going to happen with the elect, man. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is going to keep us. He's going to sustain us. All right, nothing bad that you have, nothing that we can't handle is going to come upon us if we're of the elect, man. All right, because it's Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, the Heavenly Father, that the creator of everything all around us, and the elements and everything thereof, the spirits and everything that is with us, man. So if the Lord is with us, who or what could be against us, man? Right? So continuing on, and it reads, all right, let me see. Verse 21, thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. Right? Because even the animals are going to be at peace with us, as it says. But thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. And that's like a little, like a little vision, I once had. You know what I'm saying, in my mind, like, I once pictured a bear. I think you'll have to do a dream. You know what I'm saying? I once had it to where a bear, a small vision, like in my mind, like, just picturing how everything unfolds. And really picturing that, hey, you might be in a cave, and a big grizzly bear comes along. You think it's a rat, but it's not a rat, man. Why? Because he takes, he got salmons in his mouth and he just puts them at your feet. You know what I'm saying? A big grizzly bear, he could have tore your ass up. He got a salmon in his mouth and he gives it and he puts it onto your feet, man. He delivers it for you to eat. And that's Yahweh Hashem Yahushua doing that through the bear, to help you eat, man. Because, hey, that's how it is, man. With Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, all things are possible. Okay? And that's the frequency we are, man. We not on no low level, carnal frequency. No, we in a high frequency over here, man. All right? So continuing on, and it reads, all right, let me see. And thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace, and thou shalt visit thy habitation and shall not sin. Thou shalt know also that thy seed shall be great, and thy offspring shall be as the grass of the earth. So this is going into when we in the kingdom, man. How it's gonna be when we're in the kingdom, man. But yeah, that's going into that Job chapter 5. You know what I'm saying? Let me see where we at in the time. We at 154. Oh, that's pretty good. That little 2-hour mark, 5 minutes off the clock. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, Lil willing, it was an edifying camp. You know what I'm saying? With that, you say, call halal Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rakah Kadash. All right, and Lil willing, Akim was edified. All right, with that, I'm going to say shalom. On to the next.